So the book opens with a description of a night in the emergency room during your clerkship. And in the space of a couple of hours, a patient thanks you for providing care, assuming you're a physician, because it was skilled and caring. And another woman sitting in the waiting room assumes, based on your race, that you're there to clean up vomit from the waiting room floor. And there are many instances of those jarring juxtapositions in the book. So can you tell us about how you managed to keep going in the face of those experiences? What helped you remain optimistic about the environment and your role in it?
Yes, so writing about those experiences, that particular experience that you just mentioned, that was another hard one where it gave me a lot of pause. And I will say that as I was going through medical school, in full honesty, what got me through was a lot of detachment from what I was actually experiencing. I will say that I was incredibly fortunate to have this amazing community of support, yourself included, as well as Dr. Lisa Robinson, Dr. Onya Norum. I had amazing friends and allies within my medical school, within the faculty. But to be honest, in order for me to get through medical school, it was a lot of survival mode. But I did not know that until I wrote the book. Because as I mentioned, I went to therapy. I spoke about these experiences with my therapist. I would confide in my friends and family. And I thought I was getting it all out. But I realized that it was just a lot of talk about it a little bit and then shut it down, especially because I was often told when I would try and share these experiences that I was being too sensitive, that I was overanalyzing things. I was reading into things that aren't there. And so there was a part of me that was like, your experiences are real and authentic and valid, all the things that we tell ourselves. And then there was also an equally strong part of me that was like, stop talking about this. Don't make it so much of a big deal. If you think about it too much, you're going to create more of this issue. So you have to be able to grit and move past it. But now I can look back and say that that was actually my experience. And I think moving forward, what will get me through further experiences when I do return to residency next year, that acknowledgement that it is valid, that it is real, that it is actually happening, I think will take me very far. And I'm fortunate such that what grounds me is being able to look back on my community, to know that I'm tied to my purpose, to know that I am able to show up authentically, that I fully do believe that I have earned my position now in medicine, and I won't let anybody challenge that.
In the book, you write about what it was like to turn up at Temerty Medicine and find you were the only Black student in your class. You could have just gone into your tent and stayed there, but you didn't. And one of the questions from the audience, I think, really speaks to this. How can large institutions struggling with diversity make their staff, students, customers feel more welcome, recognizing there's so much work to do?
I would say is to be really candid and honest about where you are and where it is that you want to go. Because I think that a lot of spaces will say, well, we've arrived. We're already here. We've already been doing this work, or we've been doing this work for so long. So therefore, you should feel fine coming here. Whereas I think a better approach would be to be honest about, yes, how far you've come, but how much further you need to go. And then I think that'll allow individuals to come in there knowing that there's that authenticity, there's that integrity, that people are going to be, institutions will be held accountable for that. And I really love the job that Temerty Medicine has done as well, because when we were going through the process of implementing the Black Student Application Program, one of the core conversations that we had was, how do we ensure that we are creating a safe space for Black students to come in and actually thrive? We don't just want to open the floodgates per se, bring them into an environment that's psychologically unsafe and just let them flounder. So the fact that they were transparent about the work that needs to be done really let me know, as a student who was already there, that, okay, I think they're really taking this seriously. Like, I really think that actual work is going to be done. And then, of course, having the metrics of accountability is how you hold yourself accountable to that in the future.